So in this video, we're going to have a quick look at Unit 1, Chapter 1, People in Business and Contract Law, and the exam questions that have been the most popular over the last few years in this section. The first exam question I want to look at is the cooperative competitive relationship one. It's popped up quite a bit, 2020, 2017, and in short questions and in 2019 and 2015. This one's off 2021, question 4b. The key thing when answering on this cooperative and competitive relationships is really zeroing in on the key terms that the examiner is going to be looking for when they scan your document. In the case of cooperative relationship, it's both parties working together to achieve a common goal or mutual benefit. Sometimes they will award win-win, sometimes they won't, so keep an eye on that and probably go with mutual benefit for safety's sake. And having a nice strong example here is also helpful, so they have car manufacturers or milk producers on the scheme. The competitive relationship, you're going to be looking for mutually exclusive goal, or the win-loss relationship. Again, very important to have these in, and you can see again the example that they're looking for. They give the example here of Volkswagen and Renault. You can use your own if you want. It's quite a nice one. In 2017, they asked a cooperative relationship question in a different way. So first they asked us to define it, which again, very important when we're defining a cooperative relationship, that we nail our terms common goal, mutual benefit. And then they went away from that and they actually asked them 1A, part 2, describe one example of a cooperative relationship which could arise between each of the following pairs of stakeholders. The example we're going to look at here is employer and employee. Now the key thing here, you can explain this relationship between employer and employee, but they really want the examples of benefit to each stakeholder. You can see it there on the right hand side of the marking scheme. And the example here of the employer and the employee benefits from being awarded good pay and conditions for their work if they meet their targets. So the employee is getting their good pay and conditions. The employer is going to get better productivity, better motivation, and thus better profits. So you really need to show the gain, the mutual gain on both sides when we're talking about this cooperative relationship. Another popular question in recent years has been this law of contract one, 2021, similar one in 2019. And why I picked the 2021 question, just to be careful on, they've asked us for 3 elements and they've given 20 marks. A lot of times when students see 20 marks, they just assume 4 points of 5 marks each because that structure comes up so often. But just be careful here. Be sure you read the question right. Three elements here. So it's going to be 7 marks, and 6 marks. So you're going to need a really strong state explain example in each case. And you can see highlighted in bold there. They really want the example for the full marks. Again, law of contract question again from 2021. Seen something similar in 19, seen something similar in 2016 as well. Terminating legal contracts. Just be careful on this, right? So the C part 1 works from a mini ABQ, so you don't actually need your example. C part 2, you do need your example. They've asked for the example, and it's very important when they ask for something on the exam, you deliver it to get full marks. The last question I want to look at comes all the way back from 2014, and I'm not sure if they're going to ask it this way, but I do feel that interest groups could be a really nice way for the examiners to sneak inflation onto the paper. Inflation is really topical and they could ask it in a really obvious way from some of the later units, but this might be a way for them to bring inflation into an area we wouldn't expect it. So I would have a really good idea of IBEC. I would have a really good idea of the ICTU for my exam if I was you. Hopefully it would stand you in good stead. So I would say 3 or 4 really key points on IBEC, 3 or 4 really key points on the ICTU, and be able to link them to inflation in terms of IBEC, maybe not wanting to give wage increases, maybe the ICTU looking to gain wage increases for their for the people within their unions.